My name is Oscar. I'm 24 years old. I've been working at an information company for exactly 1 year when this happened. 12 months in, and I was running on empty. Same desk, same monitor, same feeling of going nowhere. That evening, everyone had gone home. The office was quiet. I wasn't working anymore, just sitting there, staring at the screen, not quite able to make myself leave. Then my phone rang. It was Adrian. Oscar, finally. I've been trying you all afternoon. Sorry, work. You still alive in there? More or less. He laughed. Okay, listen, you remember my parents' old place? Out in Sistan, 30 minutes from the city? Me and the guys are heading there this weekend. Mike, Violet, Chris, Ryan, barbecue, fresh air, nothing to do. You coming? I didn't think about it. Yeah, I'm in. Saturday morning I grabbed 2 packs of cigarettes. Adrian had asked, and walked to the meeting spot on Maple Corner. Adrian and Mike were already there with grocery bags at their seat. Nobody else. Where is everyone? Mike answered. Violet's sick, fever, called last night. Chris has a family thing, texted this morning. And Ryan. He glanced at Adrian. Ryan's not picking up. We went to his building, knocked on his door, nothing. His neighbor, the older woman on his floor, always home, said she hasn't seen him since Thursday. Ryan forgot about plans sometimes, but not answering his door for 2 days, no word at all, that wasn't normal. He knew we were leaving today? He's known for 2 weeks, Mike said. We waited 15 minutes, talked about old things, a story from university everyone remembered differently. An argument about money, Mike insisted Adrian never settled. Eventually Mike checked his watch and said, he's not coming, let's go. We loaded the bags into Adrian's car. He drove. Mike took the front seat. I got in the back. Nobody mentioned Ryan again. Adrian pulled out, and we left the city behind. Buildings thinned out. Roads got quieter. For the first time in a while, I wasn't thinking about work. The road to Sistan cut straight through a dense forest. Trees on both sides, tall and dark between the trunks, even in the afternoon. Adrian and Mike talked quietly up front. I watched the trees go past the window, and at some point I fell asleep. Sistan looked like any small village. Wooden houses, gardens, crooked fences. Adrian's house was at the far end, so we walked through most of the main road. Within 2 minutes I noticed the way people were looking at us. Not curious, not welcoming. A woman stopped pulling weeds and just watched. A man by a fence straightened up and stared. 2 old men on a bench went silent and tracked us with their eyes. Nobody waved. I walked faster and said nothing. 20 meters from the house, a man stepped onto the path in front of us and stopped. 60s. Gray beard, neatly trimmed. Dark jacket buttoned all the way up, hands at his sides. He looked at all 3 of us before he spoke. Good day. Who are you here to see? Adrian explained about the house. The man listened without reacting. Then, there are only 3 of you? Not just 3. Only 3. That's right, Adrian said. The man made a short sound and walked back without another word. What was that? I said. It's a village, Oscar. Come on. We brought the bags into the kitchen and started sorting things out. I was near the window when voices drifted in from the yard next door. A few old men sitting around an outdoor table. I wasn't trying to listen, but the kitchen was quiet and the window was open. Marcus, the one from the other village, hasn't come back. The wolf near the south field again. It has to happen before the next night. The voices dropped, and I couldn't catch the rest. Oscar, you coming or what? Mike's voice from outside. I set the last bottle down and went out through the back door. Barbecue pit, wooden benches, birch tree in the corner, Adrian crouching over the coals, Mike already sitting holding a drink out toward me. I took it, sat down. We ate well and drank more than we planned. Happens when you buy for 6 and only 3 show up. Old stories came out, old arguments. Adrian did an impression of a professor we'd all had. Mike laughed hard enough to knock his drink over. By the time we went inside, the fire had burned low. None of us could do anything except sleep. Something woke me. Past 2, maybe 3 in the morning. Outside, a sound, soft, rhythmic. Many feet moving carefully across the ground. I made it to the window. The road was full of people, all moving toward the forest. Same long gray-brown cloaks. Some carried candles, flames completely still. They didn't speak, didn't look at the houses, just walked, until the last one disappeared between the trees. Then I went back to the couch. Morning, headache. We didn't surface until noon. After a few minutes, I told them what I'd seen. Adrian looked up from his coffee. 30 people, in cloaks, in the middle of the night, at least 30, all heading into the forest, silent. Oscar, you had 6 drinks and woke up at 3 in the morning. I was standing at the window, I wasn't dreaming. You saw something, Mike said. Maybe. I could see it on both their faces. I dropped it. I said I was going to get water. We'd run out of anything non-carbonated. I grabbed my jacket and walked out. The village shop was one room, a woman behind a small counter. I put the bottles down, she scanned them, took the money, gave the change. The whole time she watched me. Not the register. Me. The same flat expression I'd been seeing on faces in this village since we arrived. I said thank you. She didn't answer. The old man was at his garden gate on the way back. He waited until I was level with him. Did all of you sleep well last night? I stopped. We slept fine. Long day, we were out early. He looked at me for a moment too long. Good, he said, and went inside. I stood on the empty road. How did he know to ask that? Was it just curiosity? Or did he already know what had moved past our window, and he was checking whether we'd seen it? By the time I got back, I had made up my mind. Tonight I would follow them. They came again around 1 in the morning. I had been lying on the couch fully dressed, waiting. When the first shapes appeared outside, I got up, went out the back door without any lights, and climbed over the back fence. I followed at a distance, keeping to the shadows. Same cloaks, same still candle flames. At the forest edge, they walked straight in without slowing. I went in after them, one step at a time. Stopped when the sound stopped. Tracked them by the candlelight getting smaller between the trunks, until the trees opened up. I pressed myself against a wide pine trunk and looked at the clearing. The whole village, standing in an enormous circle, each person holding a candle. The light inside the circle glowed orange against the black trees, and in the center, on a mound of dry leaves, was a person, bound at the wrists, a cloth gag in their mouth, lying on their back, staring up at the sky. I looked at the face. It was Ryan. Ryan who hadn't answered his phone. Ryan who hadn't opened his door. Ryan who we had waited 15 minutes for, and then driven away without. He had been here the whole time. The circle started to chant, low, rhythmic words I had never heard. Then the people without candles stepped forward. I saw what was in their hands. I turned away before they reached him. I heard what I heard. I'm not going to describe it. Then I ran. I don't remember the ground between the clearing and the house. I remember Adrian's room, grabbing his shoulder. Get up, right now. What? Get up and get Mike, now. He looked at my face and stopped asking questions. Mike appeared in the doorway. I told them, fast, out of order, but enough. Ryan in the forest, the circle. While I was still talking, someone knocked on the front window. Once, slow, deliberate. I pulled back the curtain. The entire village was outside. Torches, completely still, all facing the house. The old man at the front, looking directly at me. The car, Mike said, surrounded. Tires are flat. Adrian grabbed his phone. No signal. Silence. There's a path, Adrian said, quiet and steady. East end of the village, through the forest, straight to the highway. We reach it, we flag someone down, through the back, now. We took knives from the kitchen. Out the back door, low along the fence. Torchlight through the slats. 30 meters to the gap, 20, 10, then people stepped out of the trees. Coming back from the clearing, dark staining on their robes. Run, Adrian said. The forest at night at full speed. Roots you don't see, branches at face height. Adrian ahead calling directions. Mike on my left, behind us. No shouting, no screaming, just steady movement through the dark. The torchlight followed. It was not falling behind. Then Adrian fell, caught a root mid-stride and went down hard. I reached him in seconds. He tried to get up. Couldn't. The flashlight showed blood, a branch through the calf when he hit the ground. Mike and I got under his arms. Too slow. Someone hit me from the left. I went down, got back up. Mike was struggling a meter away. I found my feet and looked for Adrian. Surrounded, 6 or 7 of them, more closing in. He was on the ground looking up at me. Mike grabbed my arm. "We can't. There are too many. We go now." "He's right there." "Oscar, there are too many." Adrian looked at me. I looked at him. I turned and ran. He called my name once. Then the forest took the sound. The trees ended. Open road. Gray sky. I stopped on the asphalt and just stood there for a moment. Mike was beside me, bent forward, hands on his knees, breathing hard. Neither of us said anything. The first car that came slowed when the driver saw us. She called emergency services without us having to ask. We sat down on the shoulder and waited. Police arrived in 20 minutes. We told them everything, sitting on the road in the early morning cold. He believed enough to get in the car and drive out there with us. We drove back to Sistan as the sun was coming up. The village was empty. Every house, every yard, every road, not one person anywhere. Not a face at a window, not a sound from behind a fence. The same streets that had been full of watching eyes the day before were completely silent. Adrian's house had burned to the ground, charred frame, gray ash, still faintly smoking in the cold morning air. The car was still parked where we'd left it, covered in ash, all 4 tires flat. Police checked every house, walked the path through the forest, found the clearing. Dry leaves, no candles, no marks, nothing. No Ryan, no Adrian. The investigation stayed open for months, then it went quiet. I drive past the Sistan turnoff sometimes. I always know it's coming before I see the sign. Something in my chest tightens about a kilometer out, every time. I never stop, 30 minutes from the city. If an old man on a path asks you how many you are, get back in your car.